Remember the Jetsons?
Yeah.
Like robot maids, flying cars. We all thought that was the future, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we were closer than we thought, at least on the robot front.
Right.
So today we are diving into how robots are moving from like the factory floor into our everyday lives.
Yeah.
And trust me, you're going to be amazed by what these things can do now.
Yeah, it really is incredible how fast things are moving.
Right.
We'll be looking at Renjit Philip's One More Thing, an AI newsletter from September 5th.
Oh.
Specifically, some companies that are blurring the lines between what's possible and what we thought was, pure sci-fi.
Like totally sci-fi, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so first up,
Okay.
we're headed to Hangzhou, China.
Right.
Not just for the beautiful gardens,
Okay.
but for a company called Deep Robotics.
Okay.
Now, what if I told you they're making robot dogs? But these robot dogs are programmed to be shy.
Shy robots.
I know, right?
I mean, that sounds more like a paradox than progress. What's the thinking there?
Well, it's all about safety, right? These robots are designed to work alongside humans in like industrial settings.
Well,
So they're equipped with some really advanced sensors that allow them to like detect and avoid objects.
interesting.
Yeah, so almost like a super cautious coworker
Yeah.
who's really good at spatial awareness.
So I see. So,
Yeah.
so shyness in this case is really just like about preventing accidents
Right.
and making sure the robots can integrate, seamlessly into a human workforce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it does make you think, right, about the evolving nature of work.
Yeah.
Could these like shy robots be a solution to the labor shortages we're seeing in so many specialized fields?
It's definitely a possibility, especially for jobs that are, dangerous
Yeah,
or require a high level of precision.
totally.
Though I do wonder about the implications for, whose jobs might be automated. Will these robots be creating new opportunities, or are we looking at a future where
Right.
human labor becomes increasingly obsolete?
It's a big question, right?
It is.
It is a question worth pondering.
Definitely.
So while robot dogs are changing the landscape of industrial work,
Okay.
let's shift gears and talk about how robots are poised to revolutionize our homes.
Interesting.
Right?
You're talking about the Rosie the Robot dream, right?
Exactly.
A robot that handles all the household chores?
Yeah.
Isn't that still a long way off?
Maybe not. 1X Technologies has developed Ennio Beta,
Okay.
a two-legged
Interesting.
home helper robot,
Okay.
and it's attracting attention from some major players
Really?
like OpenAI, EQT Ventures, and Samsung AI.
Okay.
That's not your average garage startup.
Those are some serious backers.
Okay, yeah.
That tells you this isn't just a gimmick.
No.
What can this Ennio Beta actually do?
Think about all those chores you dread,
Okay.
like tidying up, laundry, maybe even prepping meals, you know?
Okay.
Ennio Beta is designed to handle it all,
Oh, wow.
freeing up your time
Great.
for, well, anything but chores.
That sounds great in theory,
Yeah.
but wouldn't that level of automation lead to job displacement?
Yeah.
In other sectors, like domestic work?
For sure.
And what about the cost?
Right.
Could this become a luxury
Yeah.
only accessible to the wealthy,
Yeah.
further widening the gap between the haves and have-nots?
These are definitely questions we need to consider
Yeah.
as this technology develops.
Right.
Right. It's not just about the convenience factor.
Yeah.
It's about the potential societal and economic consequences.
I see.
It makes you wonder if a robot in every home could become the new status symbol.
Or perhaps it might redefine what we consider valuable work. Maybe these robots could free us to focus on,
Yeah.
more creative, fulfilling pursuits.
Right.
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
But it's clear that household robots have the potential to change our lives.
Totally. In profound ways.
For sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of changing the game,
Okay.
remember how we were talking about advanced AI models?
Mm-hmm.
Philip also talks about Alibaba's Qwen2 VL model.
Okay.
You can almost think of it like GPT-4V,
Hmm.
but with the ability to understand both images and text.
That's a significant leap forward.
Right.
It's like going from reading a book to watching a movie, except for an AI.
Yeah.
Now it can process and understand information in a much richer way.
Yeah.
What are the applications for something like that?
Well, think about robotics.
Okay.
This kind of model could be used to create robots that can not only see, but actually comprehend their environment.
Interesting.
Right. They could navigate complex spaces,
Yeah.
interact with objects, and maybe even understand human emotions.
The potential is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting and maybe a bit controversial.
Okay.
Alibaba is open sourcing this model.
That's right. Anyone can access it,
Wow.
modify it, build on it.
It's a radical move, especially when you consider the current climate where most powerful AI models are controlled by a handful of large corporations.
Right. That open source approach could have a massive impact.
Yeah.
Imagine developers and researchers around the world,
Yeah.
even in countries with limited resources, suddenly having access to cutting-edge AI technology.
It's almost like democratizing AI, right?
Right.
Which could lead to an explosion of innovation and creativity.
It could also level the playing field.
Yeah.
In the global AI race, giving rise to new ideas and solutions that we haven't even imagined yet.
Right.
However, we also need to consider the potential risks.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Open sourcing powerful AI.
Yeah.
Definitely a bold move, especially considering the competitive landscape.
Right.
But it's not just about software.
Right.
Philip also highlights some hardware advancements that caught my eye.
Oh.
Specifically, he talks about Cerebras systems. They're doing some groundbreaking work with AI chips that are putting even the big players like NVIDIA on notice.
Cerebras is an interesting case.
Yeah.
They've been quietly working on some seriously impressive technology.
For sure.
Their wafer-scale engine, the world's largest computer chip.
Yeah.
It's designed for training these massive AI models.
Right.
And according to Philip, their new developer tool, Cerebras Inference, it allows for running AI models on their chips at speeds that are unheard of.
Yeah, he mentions that they claim to be like 20 times faster than NVIDIA.
Wow.
And twice as fast as Grok.
Yeah.
That's a pretty bold statement.
It is, but they seem to have the goods to back it up.
Right.
Think about what this kind of speed could mean.
Yeah.
Imagine AI tasks that used to take months now being completed in minutes or even seconds. The possibilities are incredible.
I was reading that Cerebras is focusing on some pretty heavy-hitting areas like energy, healthcare, and like big science projects.
Yeah.
That's not just about making robots smarter or automating tasks, right? It's about tackling some of the biggest challenges humanity faces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This kind of processing power could revolutionize those fields. Take drug discovery, for instance.
Right.
With faster AI, we could analyze massive data sets to identify potential drug candidates in a fraction of the time it takes now. That could lead to breakthroughs in treating diseases that were previously considered incurable.
It's amazing to think about the potential impact.
It is.
And Philip points out that Cerebras is collaborating with G42 in Abu Dhabi to run a cluster of these supercomputers.
Interesting.
Which, highlights the global nature of this kind of work.
It's a reminder that innovation is happening all over the world.
For sure.
Yeah.
And this partnership could lead to some truly groundbreaking discoveries.
Potentially, yeah.
So we've got robots, super fast AI, and international collaborations. What's next?
Well, Philip doesn't just focus on the big futuristic stuff. He also highlights some tools that are available to us right now that I think you'll find interesting. Specifically, he talks about Anthropic's artifacts.
I read about those.
Yeah.
They're like specialized containers within Claude, their AI assistant.
Right, exactly.
You can store all sorts of things in them.
Yeah.
Like long pieces of text, code snippets.
Yeah.
Even simple websites.
Think of it like a built-in organizational system for your AI projects. You can use them to keep your ideas organized, share your work with others, and even build on existing artifacts.
Philip even mentions that he created some helpful business tools using Claude artifacts.
It's really cool.
It makes you wonder if this is something that, even non-technical folks could use.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great way for anyone, even those who aren't programmers,
right,
to start exploring the potential of AI.
So we've gone from shy robots on factory floors to super-powered AI chips and even handy AI assistants for everyday tasks.
Right.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
But it's all connected, isn't it?
Yeah, it
These
is.
advancements in robotics, AI hardware, and software they're all converging to shape the future we're heading towards.
Right.
And I think that's what makes Philip's newsletter so valuable, right?
Absolutely.
It helps us understand the bigger picture and how these seemingly disparate pieces fit together.
It's like putting together a puzzle.
Yeah.
Where each piece represents a different facet of this technological revolution.
Right.
And the more pieces we have, the clearer the picture becomes.
But even with all this talk of futuristic technology, it's easy to get lost in the details.
Right.
What does this all mean for us on a human level?
That's the question we should always be asking ourselves, isn't it?
Right.
How will these advancements impact our lives?
Yeah.
Our work.
For sure.
Our relationships.
Right.
It's not just about the technology itself.
Yeah.
It's about how we choose to use it.
Right.
And what kind of future we want to create.
It's like we're standing at the edge of like a whole new world, you know?
That's crazy.
But with all this talk of robots and AI, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement and kind of overlook the bigger picture.
Right. You're right. It's crucial to think about,
Yeah.
the societal impact, not just the technological marvels.
Right.
One thing that stood out to me in Philip's newsletter was his emphasis on the global nature of AI development.
Oh, yeah?
It's not just Silicon Valley anymore. We're seeing innovation coming from all corners of the globe.
He specifically mentioned how Alibaba's decision to open source Qwen2VL could challenge the dominance of those US-centric LLMs.
Right, exactly.
But like a technological power shift is happening.
It is. It is. Think about the implications.
Yeah.
Countries like China
Right.
are investing heavily in AI and robotics, and they're making significant strides.
Yeah.
This could reshape the economic and geopolitical landscape
Totally.
in ways we can't fully predict.
It's not just about who's developing the technology, though,
Right.
but who has access to it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Open sourcing AI models like Qwen2VL
Right.
could democratize access to this powerful technology,
It could.
allowing researchers and developers worldwide to contribute and innovate.
It's like opening the doors to a global laboratory where anyone with the skills and the drive can participate.
Totally.
This could lead to a more diverse range of applications and solutions.
For sure.
Tackling problems specific to, different regions and cultures.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's an exciting prospect. But
It is, but...
as we've discussed, there are also potential downsides to consider.
Right.
Job displacement is a major concern.
It is.
And we need to be thinking about, how to prepare for a future where automation plays an increasingly significant role.
Absolutely. We need to invest in education and training programs that equip people with the skills.
Yeah.
They need to thrive in this new world, and we need to have open and honest conversations about the ethical considerations surrounding AI and robotics.
Yeah.
How do we ensure that these technologies are used for good?
Right.
How do we prevent bias and discrimination?
Right. It's a big one.
These are questions we need to grapple with.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
But I think the key is to remember that we're not just passive bystanders in this technological revolution.
Right.
We have a voice.
Yeah.
And we have a choice in how we shape the future.
We need to be proactive, not reactive.
Yeah.
We need to engage in these discussions, advocate for responsible development, and ensure that AI and robotics are used to benefit all of humanity.
That's a powerful message.
Yeah.
It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the pace of change, but ultimately,
it is.
The future is in our hands.
It is.
And if you want to stay informed
and
engage in these crucial conversations, I highly recommend checking out Renjit Philip's.
Yeah.
One More Thing, an AI newsletter.
Great newsletter.
It's a fantastic resource for understanding
totally.
the latest developments and thinking critically about their implications.
I agree. Staying informed is the first step.
For sure.
From there, we can all play a role in shaping a future
where
technology empowers us, not defines us.
This has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of robots and AI.
Yeah.
And it's clear that we're on the cusp of something truly transformative.
Yeah.
And it's up to all of us to ensure that this transformation leads to a better future.
Right.
For everyone.